Hey yo, what is Anya? Hello guys. This is a follow-up video to the video I made in my car last week, expressing my thoughts and my feelings and just the whole situation as to why I made that video, exposing everything that was going on with me at that time. So in this video, I'm going to talk about three main things. Why I made that video, what I learned from that video, from that experience, and what I'm doing now going forward. So it's not all doom and gloom. It's not the end of the world. But I really need to talk about it. I really need to feel, what's the word I'm looking for? Feel the emotion, go through the process, go through the story of this whole episode of my life. I'm making this video as a part of that story. So, why did I make that video? The number one reason for me making that video was to release a lot of negativity in my soul, in my bones, in my being, everything. To release it out and just be honest. My brother is not well. He's not been well for a long time, and he's slowly going down that hill. And dealing with that has been very difficult for me. I've always kept a brave face. I've always, you could say, pretended to be this happy guy, this over optimistic guy, Mr. Stop Holding Back, Mr. Happy, Mr. This, Mr. Jim, whatever you want to call me. I was always trying to paint a positive picture, but you can't always be positive, and that's what I've learned. You can't always be positive, and it's okay to feel like shit sometimes. It's okay. As long as you don't let that shit consume you, it's okay. So I was dealing with my brother, and I didn't know how to handle it at that time. And I felt the tension building up. I felt this happy persona was going to explode, and I was just going to flip out and go crazy. But I transformed that emotion and I put it in a video, which you saw last week in that car. The second reason why I made that video was because my speech, as a result of the first reason, took a tumble. I found it very difficult to work on my speech, which is what we do at Stop Holding Back, and I couldn't keep up the habits, the good positive habits of doing contacts, meaning talking to strangers, proactively using my speech techniques, proactively being a happy and positive person. I couldn't do it anymore as a result of my brother. And as a result, my speech went to hell. And it all came to a head at work last week. So I was given a responsibility, an easy responsibility. All I had to do was pick up a phone, say who I was, where I work, and where I'm going to be meeting these other colleagues. That's all I had to do. And I couldn't do it. Why? Because as many of you know, I have a stutter. But I've been working on that for over a year now, and it's really improved. But when I was tested, when it came to the crunch time where it really mattered, I couldn't do it. So let's put the scenario together really quickly. I was in my staff room. I had 5 colleagues around me, and we had a massive failure. I work on the railway, so I work with trains and I work with the train equipment on the ground. So we had a failure. We had to replace some cable, and we didn't have the correct cable in our department, so we had to arrange to get cable from elsewhere. So my team leaders decided to stay in the depot to manage the situation there, while me, the next in line, and the one below me was sent out to collect this new cable to bring it back so we can fix the problem. So as the next in line, I was given a phone, and I was basically the guy in charge. I had to arrange it. I didn't really have to arrange much. My team leader already did that. All I had to do was pick up the phone, introduce myself, where I work, and discuss where we're going to meet up. So I'm in the staff room. My team leader says, "Hey yo, check communications. I've given him your number. Now he's gonna ring you to check communications." So they're thinking, what's the big deal? Okay. But when he said that to me, the real self came out. The real me came out. The guy I was trying to hide for a month or so. The guy who was trying to, the real Ayo. The guy who was sick. The guy who was upset. The guy who was confused. Didn't know what was going to happen the next day came out. And it shook me. And I couldn't keep him in. I couldn't keep this facade up of me being, yes, I can do anything. And I just crumbled. And that manifested in my speech. And the worst thing about it was the wait. He didn't ring me straight away. I had to wait for about 20 seconds while people were waiting as well, just waiting on me to pick up the phone and get things going. So he rang me. Beep beep. Brr, brr, whatever. I didn't have a ringtone. And I picked up the phone. Hey, Adesanya, Wimbledon S&T. That lasted for about, in my head, for about an hour. I don't know how long it took me to get my words out at that time, but it lasted a long time in my head. And I just felt a sense of shame. And I should not have felt that sense of shame, but I did. I know why now. I'm just going through the motions with you now, telling you how and why I got there. So I felt such a sense of shame, and it didn't end there. I felt so much pain, but I didn't really clock or take notice of my colleagues' faces. I just scurried out of that building. I got into the van and went to meet these guys. And on that drive, I felt so much tension. What if he rings me again? How am I going to react? I'm in charge. I've got the phone. My team leader might call me. I'm not in the best states right now. I'm going to start stuttering. I can't use my techniques. My techniques are not going to save me. My mindset is all over the place. I didn't know what I was doing. I was lost. I was confused. I didn't know who I was. And everything just came down. My foundation was weak. And the cracks shown themselves when I was shook, when I was tested. I got through that night somehow. I went back home the next morning. It was a night shift. I slept for about 5 hours. Woke up the next day, mid-afternoon, and I just started thinking about life, and everything just went further down into a pit, and I was miserable with myself, miserable about my situation at home, miserable about my job, miserable about my brother being sick, miserable about my own financial situation, my parents' financial situation. Just the world around me was not in that moment heading in the direction I wanted it to go in, and I didn't know how to handle it. I felt fake. On the internet, Instagram, Twitter, all of these social media platforms, even to my close friends, to their faces, I'm this person. But inside, in my soul, I was completely different. And I didn't know how to marry the two together. I did not know how to self-actualize the two together and become one person. I was two people. So, a few days later, I went to a friend's house. We had a long discussion about what I've been going through. And as I was leaving, I thought, you know what? No more holding back. I have to be authentic. I have to be me. I have to be honest. If I'm supposed to be this person who wants to achieve this and change people's lives, I have to start with myself. I've got to change my life. I've got to change myself. And the first stage was to release. The first stage to doing that is to release all the insecurities, release the real you, the real self onto the world. And the best place to do that, I think, for me, was social media. Because that's where the happy AO lived. He didn't live, the happy AO did not live within me at that time. It lived on the surface level on the internet. And I needed to break that. I needed to show people that I'm not always like that. Sometimes I'm like this. Right now I feel very neutral. And it's okay to feel neutral or to even feel sad. It's a human emotion we must all feel. We just can't let these emotions consume us. And I was letting it consume me. So I made that video, I released it. And I felt a bit better, slightly, for a while. But I felt very neutral for the days afterwards. And I still feel a bit neutral now, but I'm coming on the upside. I can feel it. And it's okay to feel like this. It's okay not to feel great and fantastic. It's okay. So what did I learn from this experience? I learned that it's okay to be me. And I've learned it's okay to not be okay. It's okay. Because you can't always be happy, you can't always be the best. You can't always be performing at peak performance all the time, every second. It's just not possible. We're not superhuman. We're human beings. We can be superhuman at times. But we've got to give ourselves rest and be kinder to ourselves. And the number one most important thing I've learned from this whole experience is when I released and when I self-actualized a bit more, I became one person everywhere. And I accepted myself, all my flaws and all my insecurities and all the rest of it. I felt better. I felt kind of good. I got rid of all of these expectations of myself. I got rid of them. I got rid of the false expectations people had in their mind of me. I got rid of them. And I felt like I can be myself. I feel like right now I can be myself. And I can swear sometimes. Don't have to put on a smile all the time. I feel relaxed. I feel okay. And I know in time I'm going to feel better. And that's the key. I'm going to feel better. It's okay to be vulnerable. It's okay not to feel good all the time. We're human. And going forward, I'm going to practice this. I'm going to practice being okay. I'm going to practice being authentic more. I'm going to practice not trying to live up to other people's expectations. I'm going to try to just be me 100% of the time. I'm going to try to just be me 100% of the time. And not care about what people expect of me, what people think I should be doing. I'm going to do what I believe I should be doing and what is good for me and what feels good to me. That's what I'm going to be doing. That's what I am going to be doing. Being vulnerable is not a bad thing. It's a great thing. It's a great thing. I'm being open and honest making these videos. Hopefully inspiring some people. Letting them know they can do the same. No one's asking us to be superhuman. Just be yourself. And the rest will take care of itself. Just let it go. Don't hold it in. Let it go. Let the pain go. Unleash the pain. If you're feeling angry, hit the bag. Go to the gym. Work out. Do something. Don't keep it inside. Talk to someone. Express it. Make a YouTube video. Make a Facebook Live. Instagram Live. Do whatever. Let it out. Don't keep the shit inside. Because it will consume you and eat you alive. If you're not happy, say you're not happy. If you're not happy, say you're not happy. And then take steps to correct it. But don't go around saying, yeah, I'm happy, when you know inside you're in pain. That will just consume you. And one day you're going to snap. And that's what kind of happened to me. And I realized that. Unleash the pain. Stop holding back. Be you.